The night before the 2026 World Cup opened, Gianni Infantino stood at a podium and said demand for tickets was unprecedented, by a factor of 10 or more. His words, his confidence, his podium. The very next night, the cameras panned across a stadium in Guadalajara and found empty seats. Not in the cheap corners, in the VIP section, the most expensive seats in the building empty, on live television. While FIFA's president was still being quoted everywhere saying demand had never been higher. Those two things happened on the same weekend, and that gap between what FIFA says and what the cameras show is what this video is about. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how FIFA priced out the fans who built this sport. Who is actually sitting in those seats? And the one contract clause that lets FIFA take over $1 billion from Canadian taxpayers and send every cent of it back to Switzerland, completely tax-free. Hold this number while you watch. The median Mexican citizen has less than $550 in their bank account. We are coming back to it. Let's start with the word FIFA chose for this, because the word matters. Dynamic pricing. It sounds clinical, technical, like something an airline uses to optimize seat revenue. That is exactly why they chose it, because it sounds like math, not greed. What it actually means is simple. The price of your ticket changes in real time based on how many people want it. The more demand, the higher the price, automatically, continuously, without a ceiling. FIFA introduced it at a World Cup for the first time in history at this tournament. Before 2026, a Category 2 ticket to a World Cup group stage match cost around $150. Fixed price, you either won the ballot and got to go, or you watched it at the pub. Simple, fair, unchanged for decades. FIFA looked at that system and decided it was leaving money on the table. So they changed it. And once over 500 million ticket requests came flooding in during the sales draws, the algorithm did exactly what it was built to do. Prices went up, then up again. Tickets rose an average of 34% between sales phases. Category 1 seats for a USMNT group game jumped $30 in a single day, not because anything changed, just because the clock was ticking and demand held. By the time the tournament opened, the cheapest ticket available for the United States against Paraguay in Los Angeles, on FIFA's own official platform at face value, was $2,735. Now go back to that number I asked you to hold. The median Mexican citizen has $550 in their bank account. FIFA was charging 5 times their entire life savings for a single group stage ticket to watch their neighboring country play. Not the final, not a semifinal. A group stage match, and if you're American, the Federal Reserve says the average 37-year-old, the exact age most likely to be buying a World Cup ticket, has around $7,500 in total savings. FIFA's ticket would cost them 36% of everything they've saved in their entire life, for 90 minutes of football. So who is actually inside those stadiums? Not the fans who painted their faces, not the people who have followed this sport their entire lives and passed it down to their kids. Not the Mexican family who saved for months and still couldn't get close to $2,735. In Guadalajara, the cameras found empty VIP rows while FIFA announced an attendance of nearly 45,000. A near sellout on paper, vacant premium seats on camera. Because the people who could afford those seats are not football fans, they are corporate delegates. Executives with expense accounts. People for whom $2,735 is a tax-deductible client entertainment expense, and the match itself is background noise while they check their portfolios. FIFA did not just raise prices, they replaced the audience. The working-class fan, the one who knows every player, who feels this in their chest, who makes football, is still watching. On their phone, on a bar screen, on a stream. Generating the cultural gravity that makes this tournament matter while sitting completely outside the building FIFA built for someone else. The $550 fan is providing the passion. The $2,735 seat is for the man who flew in from somewhere else, who will leave before the final whistle, and who will be back in his office on Monday morning with the receipt already filed. FIFA replaced the fans with walking credit limits and called it unprecedented demand. Now here is what those fans are also paying for, even the ones who couldn't afford a ticket. Canada's Parliamentary Budget Officer, an independent government watchdog, released a report in May. Their finding, hosting 13 World Cup matches in Toronto and Vancouver will cost Canadian taxpayers $1.066 billion. That is $82 million per match. $82 million of public money per game to host a tournament where FIFA takes the commercial upside. Because here is the contract clause that FIFA requires every host city to sign before a single ball is kicked. Full tax exemption for FIFA and all its related entities on every dollar of broadcasting revenue, on every dollar of commercial rights income generated on Canadian soil and exempt from Canadian tax. It flows directly back to Zurich. The public pays for the security, the public pays for the infrastructure upgrades, the public pays for the temporary luxury seating that will be dismantled within weeks of the final whistle, and FIFA takes the money, tax-free, and goes home. Toronto's original hosting cost estimate was $45 million. It is now $380 million. Vancouver's was $240 million. It is now $624 million. Some cities saw this contract and walked away. Minneapolis, Chicago, Glendale, Arizona all withdrew from the bidding specifically because of FIFA's tax demands. The cities that said yes are now paying $82 million a match for the privilege of handing FIFA $1 billion. And FIFA does not owe a cent of it back. And then there's how FIFA runs the resale market. This one is almost too much. FIFA built its own official resale platform for this tournament. There is no price cap in the United States or Canada. FIFA charges 15% to the seller and 15% to the buyer on every single transaction. 30% of every resale ticket. On a ticket they already sold once. If a ticket changes hands 3 times before kickoff, FIFA makes more from the transaction fees alone than from the original face value of the seat. They didn't eliminate scalping, they institutionalized it. They are the scalper. And Gianni Infantino, this is the part I genuinely cannot get past, stood at a podium and argued that FIFA had to raise prices to astronomical levels to protect fans from the black market. FIFA built the market. FIFA runs the market. FIFA takes 30% of every transaction in the market, and then FIFA told you the market was there to protect you. Multiple state attorneys general in the United States have now launched formal investigations into FIFA's pricing, looking at artificial scarcity, misleading fans about availability, and manipulating the dynamic model to extract maximum revenue. Football Supporters Europe filed a formal complaint with the European Commission in March. The legal pressure is building, but the tournament is already running. The money is already moving. This is what $13 billion looks like when it is being extracted from a sport. Empty VIP seats in Guadalajara, while FIFA announces a sellout. A Mexican fan with $550 in the bank watching on a screen while a corporate delegate checks his phone in the seat that should have been theirs. Canadian taxpayers writing a $1 billion check so FIFA can take the commercial rights home to Switzerland without paying a penny in local tax. The fans did not lose the World Cup, it was taken from them, systematically, contractually, by an organization that then had the confidence to stand at a podium and call it unprecedented demand, factor of 10 or more. The cameras in Guadalajara said something else. The 2026 World Cup is happening right now, and the more you look at how it is being run, the clearer it becomes that the game on the pitch is not the only thing being played. Subscribe. There are more stories like this one. You will be the first to see them.